California Auditor looks at favoritism, corruption in marijuana permitting process, you guys. A state audit triggered by instances of corruption and graft at the municipal level in permitting cannabis businesses has come up with recommendations that California cities and counties can use to boost public confidence and stem illegal schemes. The auditor urges steps to prevent favoritism and encourage transparency, with local officials setting permitting and operating regulations and the state handling the licensing of cannabis businesses after voters in 2016 approved adult use cannabis by people 21 and older. The industry and some officials have been swept up in bribery schemes and other illegalities documented in a Los Angeles Times investigation and other media reports. After zeroing in on 2 counties and 4 cities selected with a mix of geography, size, number of licenses, and variety of permitting processes in mind, recommendations for all California municipalities by State Auditor Grant Parks in his recently released report include: preventing favoritism and reducing corruption risk by adopting laws and policies to implement processes that consider requiring blind scoring, removing all identifying information during the review process of cannabis business applicants, and the auditor also suggests creating an appeals process requiring all reviewers to pledge impartiality and declaring they do not have a conflict of interest. Protecting public health and safety by requiring all applicants to pass a background check, and increasing transparency in issuing permits for applicants and public by using best practices observed in the cities and counties studied to include publishing all permit-related information, step-by-step guides, and fees on public websites, and in quotes, allegations of corruption during the awarding of municipal cannabis operating licenses are far from new, especially in California, where tales of backdoor wheeling and dealing between companies and public officials have been circulating for years, and legislators work to stand up a regulatory framework for honest brokers, wrote Assemblyman Reggie Brian Jones Sawyer, Democrat from Los Angeles. He chairs the Assembly Committee for Public Safety and made the comments on his February 2023 legislative audit request to evaluate the equity, fairness, and conflicts of local cannabis licensing. The Assemblyman could not be immediately reached for comment on Friday, and the state's Joint Legislative Audit Committee authorized Reggie Jones Sawyer request, directing the state auditor to move forward with a review. The state auditor's office picked Monterey and Santa Barbara counties and the cities of Fresno, Sacramento, San Diego, and South Lake Tahoe. They should have picked Adelanto. Publishing its findings last month. Among other findings, the office noted that the counties and cities examined did not always include several best practices in their permitting policies that help to ensure fairness and prevent conflicts of interest, abuse, and favoritism. California has high taxes, but other states have it worse, they say. Via David Lichtman, he says, bad as not as bad news for California taxpayers or for the eve of April 15th federal income filing. They face the nation's highest individual tax burden, but their overall tax burden is worse in 4 other states, they say. Wallet Hub, a financial services company, has released its annual look at taxes by state, and California individual income tax rates as a share of personal income are the nation's highest. The top rate is 13.3% for millionaires, though lower income residents pay much smaller percentage of their qualifying earnings in tax. Overall, California drops to 5th because in sales and excise tax burden it ranks 37th, and its property taxes come in at 23rd. California's 57.9 cents a gallon tax on gasoline is among the nation's highest, and taxpayers have it worse in New York, Hawaii, Vermont, and Maine. The tax burden is the lowest in Alaska, which has no state income tax and whose sales and excise taxes rank 46th 7 states have no state tax income. And the tax burden numbers are complied using property tax as a share of personal income, individual income tax as a share of political income, and total sales and excise tax as a share of personal income. And in quotes, as part of a financial budget agreement in June, California's leaders must place a robust and equitable climate bond on the November ballot focused on the people and natural resources most at risk. The science is clear and the world is watching, says Caitlin Redner Sutter, a California state director for the Environment Defense Fund, in a statement. Well, what do you guys think about this? I mean, we all know California has crazy high taxes, but I guess they're trying to say that other states have it worse, so just suck it up, California. What do you guys think?
I don't think it's what you pay in taxes. I think it's what your taxes go to.
Oh, good point.
And
good point, Yarrow.
The other thing, just having a real estate lens, is that California does pay crazy high taxes, although its property taxes are much lower than many other states because of, I think it was Prop 13 back in the late 70s. I don't remember exactly when that came into effect. And then, we pay a lot to be here, but it's pretty darn nice, right? What other state can you go from a negative elevation in Death Valley to skiing in Tahoe, to frolicking in the water in San Diego, sipping on Pinot in Sonoma County? There's a lot of biological, geographical, and cultural diversity in this state. And arguably, we are one of the epicenters for artistic and technological innovation. And so, as well as the Central Valley being the breadbasket for the country. So do we pay a lot? Yeah. Is it criminal? Yeah. Can I think of a better place to live? Oh.
Fair points. Any thoughts on this, Matthew St. Germain?
A weed from your neighbor.